To me, Concepcion is a fascinating case and a wonderful, wonderful vehicle for the classroom because it raises the fundamental question of what are we trying to do with civil litigation. In Concepcion, you have a class of perhaps 1 million people, and they have been ripped off, allegedly, by a cell phone company to the tune of about $30 per person. Now, if they sue individually, no claims will ever be brought. No one's going to sue for $30. On the other hand, if we can aggregate and have 1 million people suing in a class action, then it's a $30 million case. And certainly we will find a lawyer who will represent us for that. And certainly that case will go forward. It is exactly this case that cannot go forward, however, when you combine the arbitration provision with the class action waiver. You cannot sue in the aggregate. And I always ask my students, what is the role of civil litigation? Suppose you are hurt to the tune of $30 and there are 1 million people in the same boat as you. What is litigation supposed to do? On the one hand, we think maybe it's supposed to compensate plaintiffs. Well, if the goal is to compensate plaintiffs, then that's being thwarted completely by cases like Concepcion. On the other hand, maybe $30 losses here and there in life, maybe those are things we just have to roll with and say, well, de minimis non curat lex, tough luck, but it'll even out in the long run. If, on the other hand, we see civil justice not as compensating the plaintiffs, but as bringing the defendant to task for wrongdoing, then the class arbitration must be pursued. That's the way you're doing it. And Concepcion does not allow you to do it, which means you're thwarting the effective administration of justice. So what is it for? If it's for compensation, a lot of people can get by without $30. But if it's for not letting a defendant get away with something, that's a different story. Is that the role? And if that's the role, isn't there another question? And that is, who really benefits here? Are those people really going to get their $30, or are we doing this for a so-called bounty hunter lawyer's fee? Is that what's going on? All these questions are at play. They're fundamental, and they go to what we do in a judicial system.